Good afternoon. Sweating a bit now. Don't know why, but just cleaning these bits up. The end caps for the crankshaft. Giving it a good clean and making sure everything is tickety boo. Still a little bit more sort of cleaning, just tiny little bits and pieces I noticed. So I'm gonna finish cleaning these up. I'm gonna check the pump. Make sure everything's good with the pump, which I think it is, because yeah, I'm just pretty confident with it, but I'm going to check it anyway, because obviously that's the right thing to do. If the gasket breaks, I'm going to make a new gasket for it, a bit of gasket paper to put that together. Might have to get the right sort of thickness gasket paper, but it needs checking anyway. And I'm gonna go up to the combine today. I'm gonna run a sander pad over the areas where the new gaskets have got to go, being careful not to damage anything or to take too much off. There's a temperature sensor in the engine which I want to make sure we can get out before we go much further, and then hopefully later on I'm going to look into ordering the right bits. I've been told that the shells are the same as later engines. They're the same gauge as later engine 4-cylinder and 3-cylinder engines, so I'm quite fortunate to be able to get, but apparently it's hard to find the 6-cylinder set, so it's a good idea to buy a 3-cylinder and a 4-cylinder set and fit the appropriate ones. You'll be left with a couple left over, but that's just the way it's done. So we'll get by that one, and apparently I've been sent a link to a place where I can get the front gasket, the timing cover gasket, because there is somebody who can offer me all but the timing cover gasket, but I need the timing cover gasket. So there's a few little avenues I can go down with that. I can buy them off this bloke, and I can actually buy a sheet if I need to make the front timing cover gasket, but hopefully we don't need to. I want to try and buy the actual thing itself. It's the best way really. And yeah, so not much going on really, just tying up loose ends. I want to try and get that engine all back together and back on as soon as possible. I don't want the bits lying around for too long, for obvious reasons, getting lost and getting covered and broken, whatever, covered in dirt. So yeah, get on with it today. And yeah, so pushing forward still all the time with it. And then we can, yeah, I was going to say, daunted, I've got quite a lot of stuff on, but not too much. It's doable, but I can't be blasé about it and just leave it. So, like I say, next job is this. Just going to take the cover off here and have a look in, see what's going on in here, make sure everything's good. So, I'm confident that it will be. Right, so I'll catch up with you in a minute. All right, bye. So, first glance, pump looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I ain't complaining at that. Yeah, pretty good. I'm going to give it a clean so I can have a good look at it. Obviously that bit pushes out, so I'll take it apart, making sure I know where everything goes. So marking that obviously those holes are there like that, and that went like that, so that's how it goes. Obviously the benefit of having the videos and the photos is I can always refer back, well, providing my phone still works, that is. But obviously I'm downloading the videos onto YouTube, so they're on there anyway. So if I need to look at anything, it's all there, or it should be. So yeah, the benefit to the whole thing really. Yeah, so give it a clean, put it back together. There we go, and should be a good one. Just to make sure it's airtight and everything. Should be. I mean, I'm not 100% sure about that seal. I might get another seal for there. We'll have a look at that. Obviously that seal's pretty old. It's been in there the whole time. It's a lot older than me, that's for sure. But yeah, catch up with you in a minute. I'll show you it when it's cleaned. Right? Right, take two. Don't know why, but it decided to turn itself off. So yeah, I basically cleaned this now and checked it. That obviously fits in there, sits in there nice and snug. There's no signs of it being stabbed of oil, not that I can see. The edges on the impeller, nice and clean. It's got to clean the bolts as well, but you run your fingers around the inside of there, it's still nice and smooth. No sort of, everything's sort of curved as it should be, like. So there's no flat or worn sort of edges. There's no metal particles visible when I was cleaning it. So pretty good for an old thing like that. See, it has got a seal there. It might be as well to I don't know, it's a difficult one. I'll see if I've got one that I can put in there maybe. I'll have a look, see what it's about. Might be worth doing that if I can. And yeah, so that's pretty good. That's pretty positive, to be honest. A good quality pump there. That's gonna, yeah, that's cheered me up a lot. There's definitely no sign of anything wrong with that. So that's gonna go back together. Hopefully I'll get a new seal for there. Let's get one put in there. If not, I've got to put some sealant on there, I think. Clean the bolts, put it back together. And what I'll do as well is I'll prime it. I'll put it in a bag. So I'll prime the pump with some oil, so that it's lubricated for when it goes back in the engine, and make sure it's all right. But I'll wrap it in a bag as well, because the oil might attract dust from the atmosphere, and I don't want the dust getting in there in between me doing this and putting it back in the engine, because obviously it'll just damage it. And like I was saying earlier, but obviously I didn't record it, the dust or dirt particles in the oil under pressure is magnified multiple times, so that its abrasive power is much more because it's under pressure. So yeah, bear that in mind. And we've got a good pump there, so all looking good. So like I say, I'm gonna order some bits later, and everything's coming together pretty well, to be honest. You know, it's a bit of a daunting task in a way. I know it's not to some people, but to me it is, because I've not done this on my own before. I've never needed to. So this is like a first venture for me, really. I know it's pretty simple stuff, really, but it's a case of getting it right. You know, I've never done the process and had it sort of seen the fulfillment of it. So it's all sort of new territory for me, which is good. I enjoy new things, new learning, but it's got to be right as well. It's no, you know, it's not one of those things that I can just go, oh well, you know, it doesn't matter if it doesn't work. But it does matter if it doesn't work, because we've got a broken combine and I'm supposed to be using it in the summer. So yeah, there you go, spot on. I will show you some more in a little while. Goodbye. Okay, so now we're at the combine. First job I'm going to attempt is this. So that and the timing cover. When you look at the timing cover, that's actually in the back of where the water pump sits there, and obviously a little bit of moisture has been getting in there. So I'm going to try and get it out without heating it first, because I don't really want to heat it if I can help it. But if I'm going to heat it, what I'm going to have to do is wash it all off first and let it dry. Yeah, so that's that then. The next job, then I'm going to try and clean these. I'm trying to think, there was something else I wanted to do as well. I can't remember what it was now, but we'll sort that out as time comes. There's plenty bits and bobs that need doing. Yeah, right, see you in a second. So that's just a case of letting it dry out for a minute, because I just had to spray that, because basically the first attempt at getting that out didn't work, unfortunately. So I had to spray it to get a lot of the old oil off of it, because I don't want the old oil catching fire. Really, it wouldn't be helpful. Another job I've got to do is undo this here, because there's a temperature sender there that I've got to try and get out. So that's another job that needs doing, but I'll might just attempt that in a minute, and then I'll get on with trying to get this one out. So look, we've had a bit of success, so it saved us a little bit of heartache. It'd be nice if the camera can focus on it. But basically, yeah, that's come out of there. It's been in there a many long time. But yeah, that's brought that out nicely. So we've got a replacement bolt put in there. So yeah, it saved us a lot of drilling and messing about. So there you go. Could have potentially been a couple of hours work there that we've managed to avoid. So that's good. Yep, looking up. There you go. Look, just if anybody's got any ideas, we've had to punch this out. This is the temperature sender, the temperature gauge basically, and this sends a signal to the platform to tell the driver what the temperature of the engine is basically. And obviously the end snapped off of it at some point, so we're going to have to modify or something, or we're going to have to make do. And obviously you've got to remember that the engine is a reasonable distance from the driver, like it would normally be on a tractor. Obviously you could buy a tractor one and we'd have to find somewhere altering it to be just slightly longer, unless obviously we have the temperature gauge on the engine, which isn't ideal. It's not what I want to do. I'd rather have it on the machine, but I'll ask around anyway and put the question out there and see what we can do. Somebody might have one, but hopefully. I'm pretty sure I don't have one, but yeah, there you go. It's just another little job that needs to be sorted out. That's one of the things about having a combine restoration, is it's not like a tractor where you can just buy the bits off the shelf and just shove them on. It's, you know, there's a little bit more technique to it than that, which isn't, I like, you know, it's part of the overcoming the little issues, and that the combine parts aren't readily available off the shelf, so you just have to find little ways, little modification ways and stuff, which is good. It's all part of the engineering practice and that. So yeah, coming together. At least we got it out anyway, because yeah, a little bit of a pain, but there you go, part of the job, innit? All right, see you in a while. So there you go. That's basically it for today. I'm just gonna stop now. Still plenty to do. I've cleaned the gasket surfaces up with a little thing that I borrowed from work. Just whizzes it up, cleans it up, saves a bit of time. Yeah, need a bigger drill bit for there to get this out. But yeah, we're getting there. It's going to be a nice, well, it is a nice combine, but it's going to be an even nicer one soon. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. That's enough for today. It's Friday now. Soon be Saturday. So yeah, see you next time. Later.